This is Proverbs 22:6. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. I like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatia from the Chicago camp coming back to you what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And we got some more jackassery coming out of Chicago that happened this weekend. All right. You got a whole bunch of niggas that was just running loose. Okay. And this seems to be a normal thing because like 20, 30 some years ago, downtown Chicago wasn't like this. Okay. Downtown Chicago was one of the places where everybody in the city of Chicago kind of abided by the unspoken word of, whatever nonsense you do on your side of the town, when you come downtown, all right, be on your P's and Q's. Everybody coming downtown is here to go to Navy Pier, watch a movie, eat at a good restaurant, chill at the lake, rooftop bars, whatever the case may be. Everybody came downtown to spend some money, have a good time, and then go home. But see, that's not the case now. Okay, it seems like downtown has become the playground for all types of niggas and degenerate behavior. All right, what you're about to see on this video.
Due downtown. Chicago Alderman Ray Lopez introduced an ordinance that would hold parents responsible for the illegal actions of their kids. This all comes after a series of incidents involving drag racing, street takeovers, and other illegal activity.
What we need to do is keep raising the alarm so that parents start waking up and realizing that their children are causing chaos on the streets of the city of Chicago. We will wake them up from their ignorant bliss while they're sitting at home while their children are destroying our communities.
If approved, parents would have to pay fines ranging from $1,000 to $5,000 and require parents and legal guardians to undergo licensed family counseling. Parents could...
So now the city wants to crack down on parents for their children's degenerate behavior. Now, see, what I find odd about this is that there was a time when Israelite families had two parents in the household who had some type of moral fiber about themselves. They were able to raise their children, as the scripture says, raise up their children in a way that even if they make mistakes, they can still get back on their feet and become what society calls fine, upstanding citizens. But you have unrighteous decrees and many other things that have interfered in the ability of parents to raise children so that they could actually be morally upright people and productive citizens in society. Okay, first and foremost, we got feminism, which we all know was an agenda that put the woman over the man. Now, granted, this was prophesied to happen, but yet and still, this is something that happened, and now it has the household in complete disarray. Let me just get that. Jeremiah 31:22, it says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For Yahweh have created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. There you go with your feminism. And as I mentioned before, now it's created a household that's completely out of order. Because the scripture clearly tells you think it's in Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is the Most High. So it's basically saying the order, the hierarchical order of family goes Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, the man, the woman, and then obviously it goes without saying the child. But see, the government with this unrighteous decrees, which we'll get that, Isaiah 10:1, where it says, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and right grievousness which they have prescribed. Let's get that. Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and their right grievousness which they have prescribed. See, they put feminism into law. Okay, not only that, they've made being with a woman not a beneficial thing with child support, Title 4D, alimony. Okay, what else do we have? We have a situation where you've put the state in the affairs of the family by instituting DCFS. Now, granted, there are some situations that are really jacked up. Okay, however, and I've seen this from personal experience, DCFS causes more harm than good, because now the state has put in an agency and made laws where people become mandated reporters. Even their own children can become mandated reporters, or are not become, but are mandated reporters. And all they have to do is tell their teacher, the principal, whoever it is, that their parents are so-called beating them. And then the next thing you know, that phone call is made to DCFS. You get a phone call, a knock on the door, and they want to know what's going on. And it's not like you can not let them in or not talk to them, because then DCFS is going to go higher up on the power chain and make sure that your children get taken out of the home and put in some type of protective care until the state and DCFS feel that you have undergone the proper training and are now so-called suitable to parent your own child. Now, you have these examples amongst many other things which have contributed to the fact that parents cannot raise their children in the way that they need to be raised according to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. And because of that, you got what we saw in this video, this type of degenerate behavior. And see, now you got politicians talking about, now we need to start making the parents responsible. Well, the parents should always be responsible because those are their children. But you wicked politicians, especially you Jake politicians, okay, you have contributed to a system that doesn't allow parents to parent. And now you want to get mad at the parents for not parenting when you've done everything in your power to make sure that they cannot parent? Man, that's some hypocrisy if I'd have never seen it. This is why we have, as spoken of in what's that? What's that? What's that? First Timothy? Or is it Second Timothy? Maybe Second Timothy. Second Timothy 3:1. Yeah, this is why we have Second Timothy 3 starting at 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, haty, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High. And that's what you saw in this video. Complete chaos. This is why when you turn on the news, you're hearing about all these little niggas across the United States carjacking, smash and grabs, okay, home invasions. All these are the result of being in this wicked place called Babylon the Snake, where they allow people to do as they will and with no consequences. This is what happens when you live in a place that purposely devised a scheme to break up the family unit so that they can have power. This is what happens when you don't have order. This is what happens when righteousness does not go forth. And now you just have a generation of people that, for the most part, are beyond. They're beyond any type of salvaging. They're too far gone. Doesn't matter what type of help or encouragement you give them, these folks are too far gone. And this is why the Lord is going to destroy the majority of our people. Because if we lived in a society where we can parent and be the parents that the Lord intended us to be, we wouldn't have these problems. See, we can't even do something as simple as this. Proverbs 13 and 24. It says, he that spareth his rod hateth his son. Okay, that's what this society does. But he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. All right, there's another scripture that says, don't be afraid to chastise your son, for when you do it, you're not going to kill him. All right. Chastisement is not for killing, it's for correction. And see, if we were allowed to do such a thing, you would have communities all across the United States who would produce morally upright children. Because this is how the Lord intended it to be. Just like in this truth, when we go off, the Lord chastises us, not for our destruction, but for correction so that we can be saved. It's the same for us in the physical sense, dealing with our children. The Lord intended for us, when we have children, when they start being knuckleheads, chastise them, correct them, so that when they grow up, as we read in the beginning, all right, they'll come back to who they are. They'll remember, like, man, I remember when I was 10 years old, man, my dad whooped my ass. I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. And that's how it should be. That's exactly how it should be. And when the Lord comes back, now granted, that's not going to be happening amongst Israel, but amongst the heathen, they're going to be allowed to be able to chastise their children the way the Lord intended us to be. And we'll have a society of people that, for the most part, is in order. All right. The way the Lord intended it to be. So that's all I wanted to say on this. I hope you all are edified. Till the next time, we're going to say shalom.